Dear Leo, the universe has already placed the key to your next great chapter in your hands, and it is unlocking right now. You are standing on the threshold of a shift so powerful that, once it happens, there will be no going back to who you were before. This isn't just another week, another day, or another cycle. This is the moment where your life story bends toward the destiny you've been secretly preparing for, even in the times you thought you were lost. And as your guide, I can tell you it's not a coincidence you're hearing these words at this exact time. You might feel it already, that strange mix of excitement and restlessness, the way your spirit keeps looking for something just beyond the horizon. The air feels charged, almost like a storm that carries not destruction, but gold opportunities so luminous you'll wonder how they found you. Every challenge you faced, every delay that broke your heart, every quiet decision you made to keep going, all of it has been aligning the path for this moment. The universe has been moving pieces you couldn't see, preparing the stage for your breakthrough. I know how easy it is to doubt when you can't see the full picture yet. Maybe you've been in a season where hope felt like a fragile flame, barely surviving the wind. But Leo, you are not meant to live small. You were never meant to fit into a life that doesn't light up your soul. The events unfolding now will not only restore your faith, they will remind you of the power you've had all along. The success, the recognition, the love, the wealth, it's not random. It's your reward for trusting yourself when no one else did. And here's the truth, you've already been given signs. The repeating numbers, the conversations that feel too perfectly timed, the dreams that linger long after you wake, theory, not accidents. They are the universe's way of whispering, you're ready. Step forward. But stepping forward means leaving behind the comfort of the old. It means choosing to believe in the vision before you see it fully realized. It's about aligning your thoughts, your words, and your actions with the version of you who already has what you've prayed for. In this space, I'm not just here to predict what's coming. I'm here to help you claim it. I've walked this path with countless souls, and the pattern is always the same. When the signs intensify, so does the resistance. That's why you must anchor yourself in faith. See every obstacle as proof that you're close, not as a reason to quit. Every no you've heard lately is simply a redirection toward a bigger yes that's on its way. So as you listen today, open your heart without holding back. Let the words settle into the places that have been waiting for light. Let yourself imagine, not timidly, but vividly, the life that feels too good to be true, because it's exactly where you're headed. And when you finish, I want you to come back here and tell me in the comments, what do you believe the universe is aligning for you right now? Write it as if it has already happened, and watch how that intention begins to take root in your reality. This is your moment, Leo. The door is open. Step through. Leo, you haven't arrived here by chance, and you certainly aren't here because you simply want to know what's next. You're here because something deep inside you is stirring, rising, pushing against the edges of what you've known until now. It's as if your soul has been sleeping under a heavy blanket, and suddenly, a single spark has set the whole horizon alight. Picture it, a flame in the darkest night, not content to remain small, but growing, breathing, reaching upward. That is you in this moment, your inner fire igniting after seasons where it seemed like the embers had all but faded. I want you to think back to the chapters of your life that felt like they broke you. The moments when your dreams lay shattered at your feet, when you swallowed your words instead of speaking them, when you carried the weight in silence because no one could understand. Those moments weren't wasted, and they weren't the definition of defeat. They were your refining fire. In astrology, Leo is ruled by the sun, the eternal source of light, power, and vitality. But even the sun has its cycles, its eclipses, its moments hidden behind shadow. What you've lived through has been your eclipse season, where life seemed dimmer, but in truth, your brilliance was only gathering strength for the moment you would blaze again. You've been through the crucible. Every trial was a forge, every setback a reshaping. Imagine gold. It doesn't gain its beauty or value until it passes through fire, over and over, until impurities are burned away and its true form emerges. That's been your journey, Leo. This is why you felt the heaviness. The pressurite was life's way of sculpting you into something stronger, sharper, and more luminous than before. Astrologically, this season brings you into alignment with your birthright as a leader and light bringer. As the sun's energy infuses your chart, there's a natural push to step forward, to stop hiding behind self-doubt or the comfort of the familiar. This isn't about becoming someone else, it's about remembering who you've been all along. Every Leo carries a regal quality, but not every Leo remembers to wear the crown. This season is your reminder to place it back on your head, not out of pride, but out of purpose. And I know there are still shadows lingering. The habits you've outgrown but haven't yet released. The voices in your mind telling you it's safer to stay small. But this is where the deeper work begins. Energy is never truly destroyed, it transforms. Those dark moments you've lived through are now raw fuel for your fire. You can choose to let them keep you bound, or you can use them as kindling for something greater. That's the power you hold right now. In the language of self-mastery and the law of attraction, this is the phase where your inner frequency shifts. What you focus on expands. If you focus on the pain, the patterns repeat. But if you focus on the vision, the one that feels too extraordinary to admit out loud, you begin to magnetize it toward you. This is not blind optimism, it's the science of energy. Your thoughts are electric currents, and your emotions are the magnetic field that pulls the matching reality into form. Right now, your field is intensifying. That's why you may feel both excitement and unease, because your soul knows you're moving towards something bigger, even if your mind hasn't caught up yet. So I'll ask you, not as a prediction, but as a challenge, have you endured so much only to return to a life that doesn't set your soul ablaze? Or will you honor what you've survived by building a life worthy of the fire inside you? The choice is yours, Leo. The shadows are retreating. The flame is awake. And the world is about to see you burn brighter than ever before. Leo, tomorrow is not just another sunrise, it is the point on your soul's map that was marked long before you even knew how to dream. Everything in your chart, every planetary rhythm, every invisible current of energy has been guiding you toward this exact space and time. When we speak of divine timing in astrology, we mean those rare alignments where the outer cosmos and your inner world pulse in unison, creating a window where transformation is not only possible, but inevitable if you choose it. And tomorrow, that window opens wide. You may already feel it, like a hum beneath your skin, a subtle quickening in your thoughts, or the way small coincidences have been stacking in your life lately. In the study of cosmic cycles, there are moments where the energy feels as if the universe is speaking in code numbers, patterns, synchronicities. This is where numerology weaves into the fabric of astrology. The number 777, for instance, is more than just digits on a clock or a random sequence you see online. It is the vibration of completion, the closing of one era and the entry into another that is purer, lighter, more aligned with your true essence. It carries the frequency of wholeness, of having learned what you needed to learn, and now being invited to step into a chapter that reflects the depth and wisdom you've earned. Seeing this number, or feeling drawn to it now, is no accident. It's a signal that your old patterns are dissolving and a higher version of yourself is ready to emerge. Astrologically, the Sun, the ruler of Leo, has a way of illuminating not just where you are, but where you are meant to go. When certain transits activate your solar energy, you are not just lit up, you become a magnet for opportunities that are in harmony with your soul's path. That is why, on days like tomorrow, the energy can feel both exhilarating and intimidating. On one hand, you sense the expansion that's coming. On the other, you can feel the quiet fear of stepping into something unfamiliar. But here's the truth. Destiny is not about comfort. It's about alignment. And alignment sometimes requires you to stand in the threshold, staring into the unknown, and say, yes, without yet seeing the full road ahead. In energy work, we often talk about thresholds as activation points. These are moments where your vibration spikes high enough to shift you into a new trajectory almost instantly. The hours leading into tomorrow are one of those activation points for you, Leo. It is as though the cosmic current is offering you a hand, ready to pull you into a reality that matches what your heart has quietly been asking for. This is why you may feel both restless and focused, tender and brave, all at once. Seats your mind trying to catch up to the decision your soul has already made. And while we can talk about fate and cosmic design, the most important element here is your choice. The law of attraction teaches that what you focus on grows, and your willingness to lean into this energy despite not knowing every detail will determine how fully you step through this opening. If you keep your gaze fixed on what you're afraid to lose, you'll feel the weight of resistance. But if you fix your attention on what you're ready to welcome, you'll feel the magnetic pull of the future drawing you forward. So I ask you, as your guide in this moment, if you knew you were chosen for something far greater than your current circumstances, would you have the courage to walk through that door tomorrow? Would you trust the alignment enough to believe that what waits on the other side is not only meant for you, but has been waiting for you just as patiently as you've been waiting for it? The choice will be yours, Leo. Tomorrow, the door will stand open. Whether you walk through is entirely up to you. Leo, transformation never truly begins with the world around you. It starts in the quiet chambers of your inner being, where the first flickers of light begin to gather strength. Imagine the deepest part of a cave, untouched by sunlight for centuries, suddenly lit by a small, steady flame. At first, the glow feels fragile, but as it's fed, it grows warmer, brighter, and unstoppable. This is the stage you're in now. Something in you has caught fire, and it's not the kind that burns you out. It's the kind that renews, expands, and illuminates everything in its path. You may notice that people look at you differently, not because you've changed your appearance, but because you've shifted your frequency. In the language of energy work, your aura, the electromagnetic field that surrounds and reflects your state of being, is expanding. It's clearing of the heaviness it once carried, allowing more light to move through you. This shift is magnetic. Others may not be able to explain why they feel drawn to you, but they will feel it. It's the way your presence makes them breathe easier, feel calmer, or believe in possibilities they had forgotten. Psychologically, what you're experiencing is a realignment between your inner world and your outer expression. When the mind, body, and energy fields synchronize, you radiate coherence, and coherence is deeply attractive. It's why a person who has done the inner work can walk into a room and instantly shift the atmosphere. This isn't about perfection, it's about authenticity and alignment. Your light doesn't demand attention, it naturally commands it, because it's pure. The journey here hasn't been instant. This glow you're carrying is the result of every shadow you've faced and refused to let define you. In emotional healing, we talk about integration, the process of taking past pain and transforming it into wisdom. You've been integrating without even realizing it, turning grief into compassion, doubt into discernment, and fear into courage. The result is a presence that can no longer be dimmed by temporary darkness. In terms of universal law, what's happening now is a direct response to your willingness to shift your focus inward. The law of attraction teaches that your inner state is the true point of creation. When you've been able to see yourself not as broken, but as becoming, your energy field adjusts accordingly. This adjustment changes what and who you attract. It also changes what you naturally repel. Situations and people who thrive in chaos may no longer feel comfortable around you, not because of judgment, but because your frequency doesn't match theirs anymore. This is a sign of your growth, not a loss. Think of it like this: your inner light is not just a beacon, it's a filter. It calls in what nourishes you and gently moves away what drains you. This is why, in this season, you may find your circle shifting, your interests evolving, or your priorities becoming more clear. You're no longer trying to fit into spaces that don't recognize your value. Instead, you're creating space for experiences that reflect the light you're now carrying. And while you might be tempted to see yourself as just an ordinary person, let me remind you, ordinary cannot create this kind of light. Ordinary doesn't turn wounds into wisdom or quiet endurance into magnetic presence. What you become is living proof that miracles aren't just rare events. They're the natural outcome of refusing to give up on your own becoming. So as your flame grows, let it. Don't shrink it to make others comfortable. You are meant to be seen, not because you crave the spotlight, but because your light is needed. The world has enough shadows. What it needs now, Leo, is what you've become. When your inner light reaches a certain clarity, Leo, life begins to respond differently. You'll notice it first in the subtle ways: the unexpected message that opens a door in your career, the chance meeting that introduces you to someone who alters your perspective, the idea that comes to you at exactly the right time. This is the shift from simply receiving to truly becoming, and then, without even forcing it, to radiating outward so others can feel it. The energy you carry now is no longer passive, it's active, dynamic, and magnetic, setting things in motion even before you consciously act. In your work, this often appears as sudden opportunities or a redirection that, at first glance, might seem unplanned. But in astrology and energy alignment, nothing is random once you're in sync with yourself. You might find yourself pulled toward a project or role that not only fits your skill set but also nourishes your spirit. The law of attraction teaches that you don't have to chase these moments they're drawn to you because your frequency is finally a match for them. Your task is to remain open, to say yes when your intuition says yes, even if your logical mind isn't sure yet. Financially, this is a season where blessings may arrive from unexpected places. It could be a collaboration, a client, an investment maturing, or even a gift that feels perfectly timed. Yet, the wisdom here is to handle these inflows with intention. This isn't the time to scatter your resources. It's the time to invest in yourself, whether through education, skill development, or simply creating stability so your energy can remain focused on growth instead of survival. When you view money as energy, you understand that wise circulation strengthens its flow. Your health, too, becomes an essential foundation for this phase. The body is the vessel through which all your energy flows. Neglecting it disrupts the clarity you've worked so hard to achieve. Stress, if left unchecked, can dim even the brightest aura, so practices like mindful breathing just 5 minutes each morning act as both reset and protection. Nourishing yourself with the right nutrients, like vitamin B for your nervous system and magnesium for calming the body, isn't just physical care. It's a declaration that you honor the temple that carries your light. In love and connection, the transformation shows in your effortless authenticity. You'll notice that the right people gravitate toward you without elaborate effort on your part. When someone truly aligns with your energy, they see your light without you having to perform for it. This means you no longer feel the need to overcompensate or prove your worth. You simply show up as yourself, and those meant for you will respond in kind. This is not about being unattainable, it's about being unmistakably yourself. The essence of this stage is that you're no longer just holding energy for yourself, you're rebroadcasting it. Your frequency becomes a beacon, sending out signals to the experiences, opportunities, and relationships that resonate with who you've become. And because energy doesn't lie, what answers your call will be a reflection of your growth. This is why you don't need to run after anything now. You're in a phase where alignment does the work for you. The more you focus on embodying your values, your vision, and your self-worth, the more effortlessly the right things arrive. So as you step deeper into this chapter, remember, your light isn't just for you, it's meant to be seen, felt, and shared. By honoring your path, nurturing your body, staying true to your values, and trusting the magnetic power of your own energy, you naturally become a source of transformation for others. And that, Leo, is the ultimate ripple effect when your life's expansion becomes the catalyst for someone else's awakening, simply because you chose to shine without apology. Leo, there are moments in life that arrive like a still breath before the wind changes. Moments so charged with potential that only those tuned into their own inner current can truly sense them. Tomorrow is one of those moments. It is what I call a sacred hour, not because it demands ritual or grand gesture, but because the fabric of your life is thinner, more permeable, allowing clarity to pierce through in ways it doesn't on ordinary days. It is the unmasking of what's been obscured, the lifting of a fog you may not have even realized was hanging over you. And when that mist clears, what remains is unmistakable, the path you were always meant to walk, waiting for your feet to step onto it. For months, maybe years, you've been circling a deeper truth about yourself, catching glimpses of it in moments of courage or flashes of inspiration, then losing sight of it when doubt returned. But tomorrow, that truth stands in full light. It is the lantern finally lit in the room you've been groping through in the dark. And the decision you face is simple yet profound. Do you stand frozen, staring at the light, or do you walk toward it and claim what has been yours all along? In the language of astrology and energy work, such moments often coincide with a shift in both your personal transits and the collective field, creating a gateway of opportunity. You might experience this as heightened intuition, as if your inner voice speaks more clearly than usual, or as a series of coincidences that feel too perfectly timed to be dismissed. These are not accidents, they are the energetic breadcrumbs leading you to the threshold. And while it's tempting to wait until every detail is certain, understand this. thresholds rarely remain open forever. Hesitation can cost you more than risk ever will. This is why the cost of walking away isn't punishment, it's the lifelong ache of wondering, what if? That question has a way of echoing in the chambers of the soul, especially for someone like you, Leo, who was born to lead with heart and boldness. The fear that rises now isn't a sign to retreat, it's proof that you are standing at the edge of something meaningful. Growth will always feel like both invitation and challenge, but the deeper you listen, the clearer the invitation becomes. The law of attraction reminds us that when you meet life with readiness, you align yourself with what you've been calling in all along. The universe responds to decisive energy. By choosing to step forward, you signal that you are ready to receive, to embody, to live out the version of yourself that no longer fits in the old frame. The shift is less about chasing and more about opening your mind, your heart, your presence to what is already aligned for you. So tomorrow, when that opening arrives, meet it with action, even if it's small. It could be as simple as saying yes to an unexpected offer, speaking the words you've been holding back, or taking the first tangible step toward a long-held dream. Each act is a declaration that you are no longer hiding from the life that was meant for you. And I will ask you now, as a way of anchoring your choice, put it in writing. Comment 777 as a mark of alignment. Declare, I am ready, as your signal to the greater forces at work. Share this message with someone who you know is also standing before their own threshold, because there is a unique power in crossing together. This is not just about tomorrow, it's about every day that will follow, shaped by the decision you make now. When the fog lifts, when the light finds you, and when the doorway swings open, will you step through? Or will you let it close and carry the question with you for years to come? The answer is yours to give, and the moment to give it is almost here. Leo, as we come to the close of this journey together, I want you to hold on to one truth with every fiber of your being: you are not defined by what has happened to you. You are not limited by the mistakes, the losses, or the seasons where you felt you were barely holding on. Those chapters were never meant to be the whole story. They were the soil, the roots, the foundation for the life you are now ready to grow into. You are no longer just surviving, you are transforming, expanding, and carrying a light that is uniquely yours to share. And tomorrow, when you wake, I want you to rise not as someone searching for answers, but as someone who already carries them within. You step into the day with the awareness that you have everything you need: light, purpose, and the kind of love that begins with how you treat yourself. I know it's easy to listen and nod, then go back to old patterns, but the real shift happens when you live what you've heard. So, I'm going to ask you, what is one choice you can make today that your future self will thank you for? What is one fear you are willing to put down so that your hands are free to receive what's been waiting for you? When you look ahead to the next chapter, can you see yourself not as someone hoping it works out, but as someone fully participating in the creation of it? This is your invitation to practice everything we've talked about. Let tomorrow be the day you say yes to the opportunities that align, no matter how small they seem. Let it be the day you speak the words you've been holding back, the day you take the first step toward the vision that scares you in the best way possible. Every action you take in alignment with who you're becoming sends a clear signal to the universe: I am ready. And remember, Leo, you are not walking into this alone. This community here at Eternal Mindfulness is a space where we rise together, where your growth inspires mine, and mine fuels yours. I am deeply grateful that you've chosen to spend this time here, opening your heart and allowing yourself to imagine more for your life. Your presence is not just felt, it matters. It creates ripples that extend far beyond what either of us can see. If this message has touched you, I invite you to leave a comment below and share the part that resonated with you the most. Tell me how you plan to step into your light tomorrow. Write "I am ready" as your declaration, or 777 as your sign that you're in full alignment. I read every comment, and each one is a powerful affirmation of the collective energy we're building here. Before you go, if you found value in this, please like this video, subscribe to Eternal Mindfulness, and share it with someone who you know is ready to walk through their own door of transformation. Every click, every share, every word you contribute here helps us spread these messages further, so more people can awaken to the truth of who they are meant to be. So now, Leo, I'll leave you with this tomorrow. Step forward not as a seeker, but as a creator. Let the light you carry lead the way, and trust that every step you take from here is building the life you were destined to live. And when you do, I promise, you won't just witness change, you'll embody it.